Hello, it's Burgess Taylor, and I have my complete and utter setup for One Book July. Last year, I did things differently. I strived for quite a few years to get into one book for everything, and I managed to do that with the Omni Journal. Since then, things have changed, and I have made the Omni Journal my primary journal, but I needed some change. I realized that I can do it, I've done it. But the more my focus went towards art, sketching and watercoloring, and sort of illustrating or documenting my day, the more I realized, come on camera, focus. The more I realized that what I really needed was something different. I wanted a notebook that was more of a commonplace idea, quote, research, notes, that kind of thing. And then I wanted my life journal, my document my life journal, to be art, to be illustrating my day, documenting my day, and in any number of ways with watercolor, collage, all different kinds of things. And then I wanted something that was just drawing and sketching and watercolor for the most part. But then I also wanted a fun sketchbook. Something I could add collage to, something I could do not every day, but whenever. Whenever the mood struck. If I wanted to add some collage, if I wanted to do some watercoloring, if I wanted to do some acrylic, if I wanted to do, I don't know, a little bit of mixed media of all different kinds, some stamps or something. So I have changed things up. Now my writer's Bible is completely separate than this, but since Camp NaNoWriMo is coming, this is my writer's Bible. So I have my traveler's notebooks, the majority of them, and they will be in use in July. I'm going big, and I'm going home. Ha! Putting them to work. Writer's Bible. In my Writer's Bible, there's my writer bullet journal and a notebook to journal about how I write. How my writing went, not how I write. How my writing went. How many words I got. It's not even one page per day. It's just whatever. And this has outlines, and I write using tarot. And so I have the spreads and all kinds of things. I have a Snoopy charm, and I have a little sterling silver typewriter charm that really needs to be cleaned. And yeah, so this is an official bullet journal, and this is the Claire Fontaine journal. It's like a cloth. Both of these, this paper is so lovely to write with a fountain pen. Rhodia paper is 2. Tomoho river paper is 2. So next on the block, this is my Hobonichi, and this is the only planner in the whole bunch. No bullet journal except for the writing stuff, which is separate. But this is my Hobonichi. I'm going to conquer this bad boy one way or the other. See my mermaid theme? I put this poem, See Yourself Succeeding. So I have some stencils and a little bit of stickers, and here's July's calendar. Nothing fancy. I'm keeping it simple, silly, or sweetie. I did, however, add a bunch of watercolor because that's my jam. Color is my jam. So I added a little bit of washi. I have all of this planned out. Here is July 1st right here. Camp NaNoWriMo starts. I've got to put in my Camp NaNoWriMo stuff right here because the video is going up Wednesday. And I know, I need to do the Artist Way video. I'm sorry, it's been swamped. I've been swamped. So I went through ahead of time because July is right around the corner, and I just watercolored. Had some fun doing it too. All the planning part. So then you get back to here, because I've done all kinds of things in this. I've done planning, I've done journaling, I've done planning, I've done journaling. I've been back and forth. Well, so this is what I have. I'm not going to do this anymore right here. I'm going to do it right here. Let's move this up so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's get a close-up. So this is tomorrow. This is today. I've gone through quite a bit of this. I need to fill out some more things. I'm tracking what I eat, tracking the weather. I've got my to-dos, and then whatever main focus for that day is, like Monday's the coffee chat. What is my coffee chat about? And then a little tiny thought right here. So back here, if you saw, I've got gratitude, meditate, and exercise. These are my happy habit trackers, things that are good for me. I'll be just writing things like today, what am I grateful for? Have I meditated? Did I exercise? You know, so one word for gratitude. It'll just be one word. One word. Meditate will be yes or no. Exercise will be what I did and how long or how far. And that's it. Keeping it simple. Just doing the planning. This is where I lay everything out. And then this is where we get to more detailed stuff. So if I have notes or something, you know, it will go on the page. I won't always put washi tape. I might be writing notes down here. But that's it. That's it. Keeping it simple. That is it. Nothing major. Nothing fancy. Using the calendar for birthdays and all kinds of stuff too. Appointments. So there's the other. Whoa. There went my pen. Okay. So this is my mermaid. Now this is my primary journal stuff. This is the Taroko Design Breeze, and I decorated the front of it. And this says Big Dreams. And what it is also big ideas. And I have some journaling in here, some evening pages. I have some sketch notes in here. I have some notes about One Book July. This is Go Big or Go Home. I'm going to skip this one for a minute. This is going to be what my regular life, document your day, document your life journal. So I was going to use it as an illustrated journal, and it's still going to be an illustrated journal. But instead of just doing one thing on each page like I have been, I need to do that one. One thing on the page like I have been. I saved a turtle that day. Then a couple of days later I ran one over and I cried. Hope it wasn't the same one. I have left this page on blank on purpose. I've done some stuff. This is when I started thinking about it. Way back here, the beginning of June, I started thinking about what I kind of wanted in this journal. But with One Book July approaching, I kind of just, you know, I did a tiny bit. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, this was Friday. I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do a little bit here and there. This I'm going to turn into mixed media. I just haven't figured out what yet. These are my favorite pens. I'm going to be drawing some more on this page and journaling a little bit. This is going to be some kind of mixed media. I just haven't figured out what else to do. And this was a mixed media page. Courtney Diaz, Little Raven Ink, had a group challenge. It's a continuous thing. It'll change. I did this on mixed media paper, watercolor, drew her and watercolored her. I watercolored the leaves in the background, and then I printed off a free template of butterflies and cut them out, and then I Mod Podged them onto the leaves in different places, and I took some silver pen, a white pen, just did a little bit of fancy stuff over on the edges, did some quotes and some poems, and some grass down here, and I had fun with it. And that's all I have in here so far. I did this on the 15th of June, so I have a few things in June in here. Like I said, I'm going to work on this. But I can work on pages in here, and I will date when I start and then date when I finish. I want to do some journaling over here. This was a self-portrait for the week. I want to finish this and do some journaling. I'm going to do some more journaling. I'm going to do another, write it up, and then when I get the next Art Snacks box, I'll be doing the same thing, because that was a big focus for that day. And like I said, I'm not going to be doing anything but journaling in here. Now, it might have a little bit of mixed media. It might have a lot of watercolor, but my love is color. I like doing all different kinds of things. That's a pencil sketch. It's a graphite pencil sketch. And if Mr. Rockstar didn't want me to scan it and print it and frame it for him, I would have probably done a little bit of color somewhere. But, so this is the Taroko Design Enigma. So it's going to be my life, sort of my life journal. The art, yeah. And this is a Stillman and Burn Beta Series sketchbook. And I'm going to put stickers on this. Stickers that come from places I order things from, stickers that come in Happy Mail, stickers that came from other people, different things. I'm going to fill this sketchbook up with stickers on the front because, see, I did stuff on this. This is sort of my, I don't know, my me collage inspiration. I don't know what you call it. But in this sketchbook, I decided the first page should be some of my favorite supplies and something that I liked. I documented when I started this. And then this is my older sketchbook. I did the same thing. I have some of that same stuff in my Omni Journal where I do my favorite supplies. A lot of them have stayed the same. Watercolor paint, journals, pens, camera, Uhu glue, washi tape, aqua brush. This is just watercolor in general. The silver black velvet brush pen, same thing. Ephemera, coffee. What do I need to journal? Coffee. I need to express myself. Quotes. The Signo Uniball, which actually is not my favorite anymore, but I still really like it. Prismacolor pencils, Inktense pencils, looking up stuff on Google to use pictures as references from Creative Commons. Paper, scissors, books. The Pilot Kakuna, I really like that little pen. Microns. You know, I didn't necessarily draw every single one of my favorites on this, but I drew a lot of the supplies that I use on a regular basis. And I decided to do that in every single, I've been doing that in a lot of the journals. Like my favorite pens are in here. You know, I've been doing this for a while now. I believe I saw Miss Vicky B or Romney do this a good while back. Yeah, a good while back. I don't remember when exactly, but one or the other of them did that, and I knew they do this in sketchbook schools. And Kathy Johnson has a thing where she did this. A lot of in artist notebooks, artist journals, they do that, and that's what this is. This is my artist journal. It is mixed media paper, and I will be doing mostly. I will be taking this right here, actually out of here, when I go on artist date or when I go urban sketching. Now there's one other sketchbook, and this is because this is actually my document my life via artist dates or via watercolor sketching, separate things. It's just little things like if you know, if it's not something I'm actually journaling about. One specific event or something specific happens, it's for artist dates and urban sketching. That kind of documented my life. So something special or significant. And this is my artist traveler's notebook. This is my custom colored Janelli fish. And what I have done, this is my Patreon sketchbook for PDFs because I put them in a bunch of different journals. My PDFs, things I've sketched, have been on watercolor paper. It's been on and different sketchbooks in my Omni Journal, and I decided that maybe I wrote down something that's got the background, but that's okay because it's alright. This is Tomoho River paper, and it's from the paper for fountain pens. This is the cream. When this runs out or gets close to running out, I will order the one that maybe is white and try that one, but that's so I can keep it all together. This is my watercolor sketchbook. I will take this, throw it in my bag for when I go on an urban sketch date if I want to do watercolor paper instead of the Stillman & Burns mixed media paper. I'm trying to practice on actual watercolor paper. And this, I was going to use this as the urban sketch date, artist date. I took an artist date, but I found that because the cartridge paper, I like this paper for pencil and ink, but me and watercolor, I'm still learning. I'm still a little rough. You can see where I rub the paper. You know, I'm still a little rough. I gotta get better. So I decided, since I'm learning, I will do some watercolor in here. But this, every now and again I'll do collage in any one of those. But this is actually going to be my fun journal. I'm going to collage stuff. I'm going to do mixed media. I'm going to try my hand at acrylics, doing more of that kind of stuff. And that's what this is for. This has the pocket too. I will be taking this probably nowhere unless I go out of town or something, go to visit my mom, and then I'll probably be taking every single one of these traveler's notebooks. But yeah, I decided that I needed something fun, something I could do maybe once a week or maybe twice a week, if that. These are all of these are not things I'll be working in every single day. This I'll be working in probably once a week, once or twice a week. This might be once a week, and this might be once a week. So probably different days. So that is my One Book July setup. I am going big or going home. I am going to be using... Looking at backwards? Yes, I had it backwards. These are what I'm using. I broke down when I did the journal series video and I was showing you all the different journals that I use. I will go back to using this after One Book July. I will go back to using the Omni Journal. If I don't fill it up, I'll just fill it up with some random things. But like for collections or things like that, if it's not writing related, it'll go in this bullet journal. If it's not writing related, it will go in this idea commonplace kind of journal right here. I am most likely going to end up getting a bunch more of these instead of the... I may get one Enigma a year, kind of for whatever, but a lot of my stuff is going to start going in the Breeze. I like the 183 pages. It's not as bulky. I could get 2 or 3 of these from now on instead of getting the really thick journal. The only difference, the only thing I'm using that is not part of this, which is completely separate, like the Writer's Bible, but it is not in a traveler's notebook, is my morning pages journal. I collaged. This is Thistology. It will have my morning pages in it. Now, all my spiritual stuff, all of that, some of the spiritual stuff will end up in the Hobonichi, like the moon phases. Some of that, the rest of it's going to go in here, right here. It'll either go on the journal page or it'll go in this Breeze. So I'll be writing down tarot spreads, I'll be writing down ideas, quotes, research information, all of that kind of stuff in here. Oh, come on, focus. Damn it. So like I said, all the writing stuff goes in this. That's separate. But my spiritual stuff is going in my everyday life stuff. So some of it will go in the Hobonichi if it has to do with planning, the full moon, holiday, that kind of thing. Anything that is otherwise is just going to go in my regular where I write about it for the day. You know, if there's a tarot pull, it will go on that day where if I'm writing about, you know, it will be dated. So it may, one page may have 2 or 3 days on it, or I might have 4 pages that's from one day. I'm changing things up for what I really want, for what will suit me, I think. I'm hoping that this will be more permanent. This journal is not going to have any planning in it. I'm not going to put research in it. I'm not going to put any of the other stuff in it. It's all going to go in this. I thought about doing it the opposite. I thought about doing this as the illustrated journal because I will have a lot more writing in here, and that may end up being what I do because there's so much more paper in this one than in this one. I haven't really used very much of either one, so I could use either one. But this would probably if I'm only doing it once a day, 2 pages once a day, it would last for a while. That would probably, one of these would last for about 3 months. I'm not going to put a calendar in there. There's not going to be any planning in any of this stuff right here. All the plannings in the Hobonichi are in the Writer's Bible. But that's a different kind of planning. So I have until the 1st to figure out which way I'm going to go with this. Whether I want to do the drawing in this, and then do the writing in this, which may be exactly what happens, and I'll just leave this drawing stuff in the front of this, and then go with the writing in the rest of this. Because it's the same exact paper. They're both Tomoho River paper, or Tomoe River paper, and it's 68 GSM. The Hobonichi has 52. The Enigmas, I think, are 68. So it does. They're going to take the art work the same, whichever journal I decide to use. And that's it, y'all. It doesn't, like I said, I'm trying to, this would last 3 months if I do the life journaling, the documenting your life, the memory keeping, illustrating your life kind of thing. And then this is like that, to document your life, but this isn't going to be used every single day. It will be used, say, when I go on an artist date, or when I go urban sketching, or when something important happens, maybe a birthday, something that's, because this doesn't have all those pages. This doesn't have all those pages. This actually has 26 sheets, so it's 52 pages. So I could have 52 pages, I could have 1 sheet a week, and it would cover me for a year. So that would work, 1 sheet a week, for an artist date or an urban sketch date. I mean, chances are this is probably going to last me 6 months, because there might be special event, might be 2 special events in a week, and then there might be times when I want to do a whole, the whole thing, both pages as some kind of urban sketch or something, and that's okay too. But if this lasts me for 6 months, that's good. But this isn't going to be every day. I'm not doing this every day. But this and this are going to be most likely every day. These two are going to be every day. The Hobonichi will be every day. None of these will be every day. They're going to be like once or twice a week. And the Writer's Bible, the bullet journal is probably going to end up, both of these will end up being used every day. But it won't necessarily be a whole page for a day. So this has lasted me through a camp and a NaNoWriMo, so I'm still doing pretty good with that. And the Stology notebook has like 300 and something pages in it, 365 or 67 or something like that. So I should be okay for morning pages from now until the end of the year. And then I will decide what other journal I want to do for morning pages. Because, I've done all kinds of stuff in here. So it'll work for pretty much anything. And that's it, y'all. That's my One Book July setup. I hope, I'm pretty excited. I think I've kind of, talking about this, has kind of made up my mind to do the journaling in this, and to do the writing stuff in this. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I have a 7 C's writer coming, so I may hold off on this and actually use the writer in here and use the breeze and use this for July. See how this works, how having something separate like that works, because I might do some sketch notes in my writing journal, but I doubt very seriously if I do a whole lot of art. So I may keep this to use after this one. I like the idea of having one thinner and one thicker notebook. But I really like Go Big or Go Home. Made me think, because I'm going to do some other projects. I have some projects around the house I want to do. So the Hobonichi will help me keep track of that stuff. I'm getting more and more into the art, and I wanted to change how the Omni Journal worked great for what I wanted it for, but now I'm more and more and more towards art and towards the watercoloring and improving my watercoloring and urban sketching and plein air sketching, which is what my artist dates are going to be. I might go in the backyard and sketch the trees in my backyard, I might do that when I go to my parents' house, go in their yard and sketch my mom's azaleas, or my mom's miniature rose garden, or, all different kinds of things. So we'll just see. We'll see how it goes, but I really love that I'm actually using all of my traveler's notebooks the major ones. I am sending this to one of my patrons who has never had a Janelli fish, and personal size is, I tried it. Janelle, this is actually one of the prettiest ones she's made. Honestly, it's gorgeous, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm sending it with a notebook. I think I have another insert somewhere to go in here. But yeah, I'm sending it to one of my patrons from Patreon, and I had a gut instinct. She was saying she couldn't wait to one day have a Janelli fish, and turns out this is her size, and this is not really my size. If I didn't already have a passport and a field notes in my color, I might have tried to use it as a wallet, because it would work. It's perfect size for like a checkbook, but my checkbook fits fine in my field notes one. So yeah, and this is not a B6 Slim, it's actually personal, otherwise the Hobonichi Weeks would have fit in it, but I'm finding that the Hobonichi Weeks is really too little for me. So I won't be getting another Hobonichi Weeks, and I don't have to worry about personal. The only thing I might want is to see if Janelle could make a traveler's notebook to fit this, so that it opens this way, you know, it's a, for my watercolor, that way, landscape, instead of portrait. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, this is A5 size, but it opens the opposite way. So that's probably will be the next Janelli fish I get, one that'll hold one of these comfortably, and then I want a purse. And that's it, y'all. So I'm out of here. I hope you have a good one. I will see you again with an update for One Book July, but before that, you'll see me for a Writer Wednesday video. And then hopefully I'll be able to go plein air sketching, urban sketching, and do some filming of where I journal. I do have a little bit of like where, when I'm in pajamas doing morning pages. So I'm getting there, Y'all have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're interested in seeing more content, you can check out my Patreon page. The link is below. Thank you. Bye.